Hello everyone, my name is Sung Kyung-yu. This semester I'm teaching Psychology of Adolescence. I welcome all of you to my class, Psychology of Adolescence, and I hope that we can end it up a very good semester by collaborating each other. Even though this is online classes, so I missed the part at the personal interaction in class, but I wanted to make a good use of all the facilities and the benefits of the online system. And hopefully we can be more accustomed to each other as time goes on. Today I'm going to overview what is the course is about and what's my expectation and what's the evaluation system and the textbook information and the topics of the class to be covered. So I'm going to start with my own idea, what is adolescence is about. So when you hear the adolescence, what kind of images comes up in your mind? Usually people think that adolescence is it's a time of stress, storm and stress, and think about very negatively the time of the adolescence. But usually we call the adolescence as a time of crisis. And as you see that there's a Chinese character, meaning there's a two part of the word, which indicating that adolescence is a time can be very positive and also can be very negative and dangerous at the same time. I'm going to start with the positive part of the adolescence. And when we say that the last part of the crisis in Chinese, meaning that opportunity. So adolescence is time provide lots of opportunity for the future. So you can try something new and then you can have your own dream. And it's lots of potential you can think of. And it's never be possible when you get old. So this is the time really have a promising opportunity it's provide to the adolescents. And secondly, we can think of adolescence as a time to develop your own voices, which is related to the concept of identity. So Erik Erikson, who is a very famous psychologist, he said that the adolescence is a time to fulfill the identity formulation. That is a very important thing for the rest of the people's life. So adolescence, when we say that, is the crisis, meaning that brings lots of opportunity, and also this is a time to be yourself. So before the adolescence, usually the kids, they just follow the parents' direction. Even though they make their own decision, usually those are decisions based on the parents' desire, parents' pressure, but adolescence, it's the time you can make your own decision. So that's a very exciting time of our life. But we need to remember that adolescence also can be a very dangerous time in many reasons, for many reasons. First of all, the adolescence is this time very unstable. So adolescence, probably you have your own experiences or you can observe emotional fluctuation and also very anxious, and a certain time you are suspicious of your capability, but at the same time you boost up your self-esteem. So you don't know who you are. So that makes you very fearful of your future, and also that makes you very anxious. So adolescence, even though that's a very positive side of it, but at the same time you need to remember that it's a very unstable time. So it could end up ruining your opportunity if you can regulate your emotions and lots of changes in the right way or constructive way. So we need to remember that the adolescence, that's a time crisis. So that's a basic introduction to the crisis, to the adolescence. And many other things we needed to understand what is adolescence is about. And this class is about the adolescence. And I want to start a brief overview of the course. Of course, you can find a more detailed information of the course in my syllabus. You can retrieve through the internet. And I'm going to just briefly what the course is about. First of all, the adolescence psychology is a part of developmental psychology. So start with the mother's womb in a fetal, And then throughout the pupil's life, the adolescence, maybe it's a center of the period of developmental phases. So by taking these classes, you are exposed to the developmental psychology, some of the information. And secondly, even though the psychology, some knowledge based on very common knowledge across the culture, but we needed to understand that the person cannot be understood without understanding of their cultural background. So when I talk about adolescent psychology, I'm going to emphasize that the role of culture, which invites you to have a cross-cultural perspective. I don't know which countries or which ethnicity you belong to, or your gender, or your socioeconomic status. It's about the culture. So when you think about the adolescent psychology, you need to understand that there's a culture plays a very big role. And third, my objective, there are some key issues through the adolescence, and you need to understand that what are those key issues. For example, the identity formulation is a very significant issues in the adolescence, and also relationship issues and sexual interest, and started dating, romantic relationship, and change in your family relationships. That's all very important key issues in adolescence. So in these classes, I'm going to give you some of the concepts to understand those key issues in adolescence. And finally, you are invited to think about yourself. College, it's the time late adolescence we call. So you as an adolescent wanted to examine your own issues. So I hope that when you read the articles, when you read a textbook, when you hear my lecture, when you read other students' reaction to this discussion, or when you write your own discussion, hope that you can come up with certain your own idea, who you are, and what stage are you in your identity formulation journey. So in that way, you can have some bridge from your past to the present, and also you can make a new, very solid bridge from this point to your future. So using this course for your personal benefit, and that's what I really encourage the students to do that. In terms of objective of the course, it's related to the overview of the classes. First of all, you need to understand the general knowledge of adolescent psychology. And also, you need to understand the role of culture in adolescent psychology. And I think a global online class is a perfect place to learn the culture, and in other cultures, how adolescents live their life, and what kind of issues they struggle with. Is there any differences from your own experiences? Or is there any similarities because you're all in the same stage of development? So I hope that you are seriously questioning about the role of the culture. And third objective of this class, you need to understand that the key issues of adolescence, and some of the issues is very particularly important in adolescence. And finally, relate to the self-reflection journey. You are expected to analyze your own identity issues in your own cultural context. Probably some of the students struggle with more relationship issues. Some of the students more struggle with the career development, or some of the students struggle with more sexual issues. It's individual differences, but this is the time you need to understand, and you need to questioning about your journeys of your identity, your own identity. Okay, then what we are going to use for the textbook this semester. This is the textbook we are going to use for this throughout the semester, Adolescence, and written by John Swantrop. It's a very nice book because under the cover you can find the website of the Learning Center, and where you can find the useful information about the concept, and also website information, and also there is online quizzes available. So I really encourage you to use the website of the Learning Center as much as possible. So in that way, you can assess yourself, your own understanding, and also there is other information is available. So this is the textbook, major textbook, and also there is some time I'm going to provide relevant articles, and I'm going to upload on the Cyber Campus when necessary. Then you can just download it, the articles, and then we can discuss about the articles. And grading system, and I know that students are very interested in what instructors are expecting to see. And there are 5 things I'm looking for to evaluate the work for these classes. The first point is that you need to participate in weekly discussion or case analysis. That is a 20% toward the total grade, GPA. My role is that I'm going to upload discussion topics or case to be analyzed weekly. Then what you have to do? First of all, you have to upload your reaction to discussion or analyze the cases I uploaded and the campus. And this is the minimum, the words you have to write down in your, the reaction is 500. And then you have another opportunity. You can give a comment to other students, the discussion. And if you want, it's optional things. But if your comment is very excellent, I'm going to give you extra point. And second, things you have to do to get a grade is a reflection paper. And as I emphasized before, my goal, one of the goals is that I wanted to integrate your learning class into your personal life. So in that way, this classes is personally meaningful to you. So writing your own reflection paper, especially on your identity formulation, so that is a 20% toward the total GPA. And third, we're going to have 2 exams, midterm and a final exam. And about the time you take the midterm or the final, I'm going to be more specific, the type of the exam and the length of the exam. And fourth, the group project is 20%. Even though this is an online system, we can use the campus space more frequently and effectively. So any topics relevant to adolescent psychology, I'm going to allow to use it. So before make a final decision for the group presentation, the topic, just get the permission. And with my approval, you can proceed your group project using our Cyber Campus. And present your findings at Cyber Campus, and based on your findings, I'm going to give a grade. And briefly, I'm going to go over what kind of things, what kind of topics we are going to learn throughout these classes. First of all, introduction to psychology, adolescent psychology, definition and criteria, and what differences between adolescents and infant and childhood, and also what is the differences between adolescents and adults. We're going to think about those characteristics of adolescent psychology. That is our first topic. And secondly, the culture and how the culture have an influence on the people's the development in general, and especially how the culture have an influence on adolescent psychology. That is our second topic. And third, usually adolescents start with puberty. Puberty meaning that it's our body and physiological and biological changes that is the foundation of adolescence. So our specific topic is start with the biological foundation to psychology, to adolescence. And then cognitive development during the adolescence. There is a certain characteristics of cognitive, the characteristics during the adolescence. We are going to think about that. And then self-identity development. That is one of very important issues. And also we're going to think about relational changes in adolescence. Focus on family relationship and peer relationship and the romantic relationship. So we are going to deal with each by each relationship pattern. And then think about achievement and work and a career, because adolescence is a time you seriously start with thinking about your job and your occupation and career in general, what I have to do to make money and also to make my life meaningful. So that is our another topic. And finally, we are going to think about that adolescence problems. Usually, all kinds of pathology start with adolescence. It's a more visible symptoms we can observe during the adolescence. So we are going to think about what's a particular adolescence problems we needed to understand. So that is our final topics. So thank you very much for my introduction and your attention. And let's hope that we can have a more exciting the next the sessions and start with the regular classes, starting with the introduction to adolescent psychology. Thank you.